Hey everyone, welcome back to the string DSA series, and in this video we are going to discuss the problem reverse word in a sentence. So let us discuss the problem statement. The problem states that you will be given a sentence that is, for example, the input sentence is I love JS Cafe and the expected output is JS Cafe. So this is the expected output, and it is pretty similar to reading this whole sentence from the end. So JS Cafe love I should be the output. So let us have a look at the solution. So let's have a look at the example. The example for this case, our example is, and these words are separated by spaces. So in the first iteration, we have to reverse the whole string. It becomes, okay, so this is what it becomes after reversing the whole sentence. And now we will be having two pointers. One pointer is left, which is at the zeroth index, and our right pointer will be L plus 1 at the first index. Next, we check that if left is not at an empty position, and we increment it until it reaches a non-empty position. So by default, this L is present at a non-empty position, which is E, and our right pointer is basically L plus 1. Now all we have to do is to increment R up till it reaches an empty string. So we found that R is at F, which is non-empty. We increment it, we are at A, it is non-empty. We again increment it, we again increment it, we again increment it, and finally it reaches a point where our character is empty space. So now at this step we have to reverse substring from index L to index R minus 1, which is J over here. So in the next iteration, after reversing this substring, our sentence would become JS Cafe underscore evolve underscore I, and our positions of right pointer is over here and left pointer was over here. Now we have to update the position of the right pointer to that of the read pointer. So left pointer comes over here, and we have R over here as it is. Next, we again look that if L is not present at a non-empty string, which is true in this case, so we have to increment L until we reach a non-empty character. So we increment L, we reach E over here, and now in this place we have R over here. Now we have to increment the position of right, which would be L plus 1. The right comes over here. Now we increment R until we reach a non-empty character. So R was incremented to O, again we increment to L, again we increment to this space. Finally we reached a point where R was at an empty position. So in the next iteration we have to reverse the substring from position L to position R minus 1. So our sentence would become JS Cafe. This would be as it is up till this point, and from L to R minus 1, this would be L O P E and underscore I. Good. So now we have to update the positions of left and right. So in the previous iteration, the R was over here and L was at this position. So L would reach to the position of R, and we increment L up till we reach a point where L is not present at a empty position. So we increment L and we reach over here, and we now after updating the position of L, we have to update the position of R, which is L plus 1. So R reaches to the here, which is outside the boundary of this string. Okay, up till it is fine. So basically we have to reverse the string from position L to r-1, and for this particular iteration both are falling onto this I character. So reversing this I character won't make much sense. So we, in the final iteration, we will be having JS Cafe for I. So this would be same as the previous iteration, and the positions of left and right were over here and R was at the boundaries. Next we increment the position of L and set it to the position of R. Now L is over here. Now since L has crossed the boundaries, so our iteration stops right over here. Now as soon as our iteration ends, we return this whole sentence, which is JS Cafe with space love and space I. So this was the logic behind this problem, and let's have a look at the code. We are creating a function reverse words, that is accepting sentence, and in this function basically we are initializing left and right pointers with 0, and in this part we have reversed the whole sentence. So if you don't know like what this code is doing, so basically we are splitting the sentence into an array. So like calling a sentence.split will create an array having each element having characters of this particular sentence. So basically it would be something like I followed by space followed by L followed by O, and so on till the very end of this very string. Okay, so like this split is going to create an array of our strings of our characters, and we are calling a reverse function on that particular array. So like the whole array is reversed, and we are calling a join method. So join method basically join the elements of the array with the argument which you passed, and in this case we have passed nothing, it is just an empty string, so they'll be merged as it is. So the final output of this line would be something like E F A C S J space E V O L and I. This would be the output of this particular line. Okay. Now we are having an iteration, this is while true, and if we are having we are having an iteration with while true, so we are checking that if left pointer is at an empty position, then increment the left pointer, and if left pointer has crossed our boundaries of that particular string, so we are calling a break, and we are doing right equals to left plus 1. Next we are calling a while loop, checking that if the right pointer is not at the empty string, so increment right up till we find an empty space. Once an empty space was found, we have called our reverse string function, which would basically which would basically reverse the parts from the L pointer till the r-1 pointer, and it would keep the rest of the string as it is. So we are checking that if the sentence is empty, or if the length of that particular sentence is less than 2, then it doesn't make sense to return to do anything over here. So we are just returning. Okay, now we are doing that while left is less than right. Okay, so I'll explain this part. So how we are doing is that let's suppose you have to reverse this particular thing, and in that particular function we are having left and right pointer. So in that function call, the left pointer is over and right pointer is over there in that particular function call. These are the params. Okay, and this is the sentence. The intention is to reverse this particular piece of substring. So what we are doing is that we are checking that if iterate until left is less than right, and do what. Okay, and we are also passing the whole sentence over here. So we are also having the whole other. So okay, we are having underscore eval underscore I as well. And now what we have to do is we are having left and right. So let's check the first one. We are doing temp equals to sentence of left, and we are calling sentence dot substr 0 to left, sentence of right substr left plus 1. So which means that we are storing temp with the first character e, and we are telling that in the next make sentence, and we are telling that make sentence something like j f a c s j underscore e o l underscore I. So we just swapped, not swapped, we just replaced the character at L with the character at R. Keeping R as it is and keeping everything as it is. We just took the substr, replaced it with a right pointer, and that's all. In the next iteration, we are having temp over here, and our R is present over here. Okay. So the intention is to keep string from here to here as it is, and from here to here as it is. We just need to replace this j with an e. So replacing, our string becomes f a e o e o l underscore I. Okay, and our obviously our left pointer was over here, right pointer was over here. We did our job. Remained left pointer and R pointer comes over here, right comes over here, and again we swap these. It's kind of swapping. So we swap these two, and we again decrement left and right pointer as string a s a f e, and everything from here up till same. Okay, next our left pointer was over here, right here. We decrement left pointer, we right pointer, and we swap these things as cafe, and our here we decrement these two, and they R comes over here, left comes over here, they intersected each other, and our loop ends, and we basically return this whole string. So this was the idea of this. This was the idea behind the reverse string function over here. Next, we called this reverse string function. We updated the value of the left pointer, which is with the right, and again we call the same loop, and this is exactly what is I have explained in the whiteboard. So that was all for the code. The time complexity is big O of n, and the space complexity is 1. With big O of n, we can say that it is like k into small n. Like k is the number of words, like k times this loop runs like while true, and the major n times we are iterating over the characters of that particular string. So this n is basically k times n, where k is the time this while loop runs, and so k will be very less as compared to n, and hence this solution will be considered like, instead of kn we can say that big O of n, because kn doesn't makes much or difference, and it is still big O of n. And the space complexity is 1. We haven't used any extra space like array or hash map to store anything, so the space complexity is big O of 1. So this was all in this video. I hope you liked it. See you in the next one.